Hey mouse clickers, let's get right into it. So, I know no one's really wondering what iTunes is, but if you don't know, it's the premier place where we buy music and videos on Apple and PC actually. They have a ton of music, they have a ton of videos, movies. It goes across your iPad, your iPhone, your iPod Touch. It's pretty much where we organize and get our digital lives together. So let's get right into it. On my on my MacBook Pro, I still haven't upgraded to iTunes 10 yet. On my Mac Mini, I've already updated, so we can go over some of the differences between the two. As you see, first up, we've got two different icons. There's been a major change. They've gotten rid of the old CD. They figure that majority of our music and stuff is now download, so there's no need to have the CD/DVD on there anymore. But if you'd like that, we can show you how to get that back. Or at least something a little prettier if you don't think the new blue icon is pretty. So let's get off into some of the differences. Okay, let's get that together. As you see, one of the first things you notice is the new icons for our sidebar. They've grayed them out. There's no more colorful icons like you see on the left. For me, I think it's I actually like this way a little better. It's a little less distracting from what I'm actually here to do, and that's look at music or look at videos. This was good, but actually I like the minimal look a little better. Next things you'll notice is we've got a couple of new icons here. We've got one for books and one for ping. Books has to do with their new service with iBooks and all that good stuff if you've been messing around with the iPad or the iPhone. Ping is their new social service that I can't say I'm really that into. You can follow your favorite artists if they're on there. You can also update your profile once you make it with the everything that you buy. So it can be a little creepy at times, especially if you share an account, as I do in my house. So the account never really says exactly what I buy. It's a combination of what the people buy in the house. So let's get on. Those are really the main differences. Another big difference here, let me zoom in, is the orientation of the minimize buttons and all that stuff. Minimize, maximize. As you can see on the old, it goes across the top, and on the new one, it kind of goes in like a reverse stoplight pattern. For me, that's a little weird. It's not unified across the whole system. It's just right here, and that's the only application that does it like this. But there is a way to change that, and we'll talk about that later. All right, let's go ahead and close the Mac Mini, and let's get right into updating this iTunes 9 to iTunes 10. The easiest way I've found to update is to go right down into iTunes up here and check for updates. It'll take a second, and as you see, there's a new version. I'm going to go ahead and download. software update will open and it'll check for new software. I should have a bunch of stuff that I need to upgrade. I really don't upgrade as often as I should. I feel like if everything is working and there's no major security upgrade, I only update when necessary or when the software calls for it. So very soon I'll be updating from just regular leopard to snow leopard. I can go ahead and put that on tape for you guys if you want to see that. You know that Tiger was just announced, so that'll be coming out soon. But there are some things I want to try with snow leopard. I definitely want to try the new FaceTime for Mac, the beta, the new iLife suite. All that stuff needs snow leopard, so I think it's about time for me to upgrade. There was no reason for me before. They are still supporting leopard, but once you start getting programs that require a certain operating system, it's definitely time to upgrade. Another thing that was announced was that new MacBook Air. That thing is pretty sweet. I think I'm considering picking one of those up, 11.6 inches, almost netbook size. Okay, here we go. As you see, we've got a lot of updates here. We'll just go through the ones that I do not want to upgrade. I just click the check mark. Man. So after I get done, I'm sure I need to just go ahead and update. You see, I've got a firmware update. Those are pretty major. Yep. All right. So it's just one item. I'm going to go ahead and install that. I hit the install one item, put my password in. Hit OK. Of course, you always want to look at the terms of agreement, your license agreement. I know we can't read everything, but it's at least good to scroll down and see if you see anything, I guess. It'll go ahead and download and install. Then when we come back, we'll check out some more of the functions of iTunes 10. Thanks, this is Marcus, and here's clicking at you.
MouseclicksTV.com, and I'm here with Don Corbet, the Linux guy.
How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing great, Don. How about yourself?
Doing well.
Good.
Doing well.
What are we going to talk about today?
Well, today I want to start out with something we've received some emails on. Folks who know that we do a lot of Linux also realize that some of the smartphones out there are running Linux, specifically the Google Droid. And so what I want to talk about today is how to do an application update on your Droid.
And updates on the phone are just as important on a computer. Exactly
right. Well, because the phone really is a computer.
Right.
You know, we've got the same kind of stuff. We got Bluetooth, we got the broadband, we've got Wi-Fi. It's all there.
Yep.
So what we've done here is I got an indication in the home position of my screen, the upper left-hand corner. Looked like a little lock with a little Droid memo in it. So I go in and hit the notifications, and then that takes us to the screen that I have here on the phone, where there are 5 updates available. So because of what I've chosen, it's got volume control, chess for the Android, Twitter, Yahoo Music, and the screen test. So just pick one of these. Let's do the screen test. And it says this is the update. It tells you what certain ratings have been. People really like it. It's got 5 stars. This is a 4-star, and tells me some of the fixes that are in here and even examples. So you know what you're going to get before you say go ahead and update it. several comments. People that said, you know, they liked it, they thought it was good, so I'm going to go ahead and say, yep, let's go ahead and do this update. Goes out over the 3G network, and right away I get the bar showing me it's doing the update, and it goes relatively quickly. Keep in mind that you know, the entire machine's only got 512 meg of RAM. So with all these applications, they're written very slim, very optimized. I should say it's 512 meg of ROM and only 288 meg of RAM. So you think about the gigs that you have on your laptop, there's a big difference to it.
Now, when you say 3G, maybe we need to remind our viewers that's what your provider provides, right?
Right. That's the bandwidth, and I forget how many megabit per second throughput that is, but you hear people talking about 4G now for the high definition video and streaming for future. But there's only a few 4G networks that are currently active. I think New York, LA, you know, some of the big markets that are running 4G right now. So you don't have to run out and buy a 4G phone unless you spend a lot of time in those markets. 3G is what's really prevalent. Yeah, and you can stream. I mean, I can watch YouTube just fine. Yeah. You know, anything that I need, 3G is perfectly compatible for.
And like you said, you know, just because your carrier might have 4G, your phone's got to be 4G in order to handle 4G.
Now, it's downward compatible. And you can have your 4G phone working on 3G, but G, you got to watch out. You know?
Too many Gs, too many Gs.
Exactly right. Now, again, because of our studio environment here, I'm not sure if there's a lot of noise, and we're talking RF noise, radio frequency noise, not just sound noise, because it's quiet in here that way. But while it's trying to do the one test, what I can do is show you that we can actually do multiple uploads at the same time. I can update my volume controller, and it shows me what would be altered when I do the update. And I'll say, okay, go ahead and do that. And now I can see I'm doing 2 updates. My Twitter, I can go ahead and do the update to the Twitter. It's a Twitter app. It's not updating my Twitter page. We're updating the Twitter app. And again, I really like how it tells you in full detail, these are the things that are going to be updated. Here are comments that other users have had. And it's really nice. If you've got the newer phones with the faster bandwidth, this is the Droid Aris. If you're doing the Droid X or you know, any of the newer ones, they're even faster, but you've still got the same basic premise where it's going to show you all the components that are going to be affected by it. You can decide whether you want to do it or not. Give it a try, and all of the apps that I've downloaded are free. I just like that idea, not that they're not worth more, but it's like
free is always good.
Free is always good, and don't need to worry about it. The 2 that I had just started to upload or download, they have downloaded and they have completed. And it just kind of did that in the background while the others are running. So I'm going to get all 5 of these updates done here pretty quick. It may take you a short period of time to begin with, but once they get started, they seem to roll pretty quick, and I think that's just on how the carrier will dedicate bandwidth to you. You know, once you've locked in and you're like, hey, I'm in an update mode, they tend to give you a little preference. It's pretty good. Now, here's another example where the update will do things like deals with GPS locations, and this update's for my Yahoo. One of the things that people may not like is that you have the ability to be followed a lot, and because this is all building on social networking as well as technology networking, and with the social network, a lot of people want to broadcast where they are so that their friends will know where they're at, and there's these new communities now where, you know, if you're within a proximity of one of your friends, they'll get an automatic update. And
so you might want to maybe, if you have children, you might want to turn that feature off.
You might want to turn that feature off a lot, or if you're just a little paranoid, you might want to turn that feature off, because in public access, you know, you never know who all's out there and who's got the tools to watch this stuff, because this is all open source stuff. People can use it for good or evil. So
it's not the technology itself; it's how it's used.
It's exactly right. No different than dynamite. You know. So be careful. But you can see, just in the short period of time, I've updated 5 applications on a machine that, really quite low powered. It's a 500 megahertz CPU using the Qualcomm chipset, and less than a gig of RAM.
Right. 500 megahertz. That's what we were using back in like the 80s.
Yeah, on the desktops. Yeah, definitely. And but there again, you've got to conserve the power. The batteries in these are tiny,
Right.
Comparatively. So you wonder why you only get a couple hours of battery life. Well, you're running what you used to run on your desktop right here now.
You know what though? I heard, and I don't know how true it is, that like the Apollo missions, that phone's probably more powerful right there than what the computers were on the spaceships.
Absolutely true. And I've done a little bit of consulting with one of the guys down at NASA, actually one of the teams at NASA. They're putting MySQL on the International Space Station.
Wow.
So, but they've been locking into this, and I've been consulting with them now for over 6 months on what it's going to take. But one of the key database components are now going to be running MySQL open source with Linux.
Well done, thank you, and we'll be back a little bit.
We will. Keep clicking.
Hi everyone, my name's Tim Myers from mouseclickstv.com, and this is a video tutorial. Today I wanted to show you how to create a bootable CD using ImageBurn. ImageBurn is a free tool that is used to create burn CDs, and you can get ImageBurn at www.imgburn.com. And what you're going to do is you're going to look for the download here, the download link. You're going to click on that. Then you're going to download it by choosing one of these mirrors. I've already downloaded this, so there's no need for me to do it again. And you can see right here that I downloaded it. And then in order to create a bootable CD, we're going to need a boot image. And where do we get a boot image? We can get a boot image at allbootdiscs.com. www.allbootdiscs.com, and you can download an image from you can download an MS-DOS image, a Windows 98 image, Windows Millennium, 95, Windows NT, 2000, XP Home, XP Professional, or whatever. For this exercise, I'm just going to choose Windows 98, so I'm going to click on the Download Boot Disk. And then we're going to choose Diskette Image. And it gives you all these images that you can choose to download. I'm going to choose Windows 98 se.img. That's Windows 98 Second Edition IMG to download. And I've already downloaded that, so I'm not going to download it again. Now, I do want to let you know, though, that you'll see this automatic boot disk, and that's not going to work for our purposes here because those are .exe files, and we need a .img file. Okay, so that's where you can get it. You can get your bootable images at www.allbootdiscs.com. So go ahead and minimize this for now, and I'm going to open up our ImageBurn software, the software that will burn CDs or DVDs. Now we're going to click on Mode in order to make a bootable CD, and we're going to choose Build. And once you click that, it's going to bring up this window here. Now, I like to create bootable CDs in order to help troubleshoot computers. So what I do is I'll put diagnostic tools on it. So let's go ahead and find some content. So I'm going to browse for a file. And let's see what I have to put on. Okay, here we go. This is check disk. Check disk will check your disk, your hard disk for errors. So that's a diagnostic tool. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on, and you'll see it pops up right here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to here, and we're going to click the Advanced tab. And once we click on that, we're going to choose the bootable disk. So because we're going to make the disk bootable, so we're going to choose that. We're going to make image bootable, so we're going to click on that, and we're going to emulate a 1.44 megabyte floppy disk. So we're going to choose that. Then we have to choose where our image file is located. We're going to need to choose the image file. So I'm going to click there, And then here it's telling you that I already downloaded it, so I'm going to click on that. And then from here, really, we're just about done. We're just going to go over to here to destination, under destination right here, and we're going to click this little icon. And this is where we're going to save it at. I'm going to choose my desktop because that way I can find it really easy. And we're just going to make it a name. I'm going to choose to name this file bootable disk. Then I'm going to do an underscore, and I'm going to type in Win98SE. That way I know exactly what this bootable image is. And then we're going to click Save. Okay, the last thing we're going to do before we create the disk is we're going to go up to here to the output, and we're going to make sure that this is checked. It's image file, because we're going to make an ISO image file to burn later on as CD or DVD to make the DVD itself bootable. Okay, so that's already checked, image file. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the image file itself. So we're going to click this little arrow right here, build, and we're going to go ahead and leave this to the default, what it is. You can change this name if you choose. I'm not going to. I'm going to click yes. It shows one file. Content type is data. We're going to click OK. You'll hear that noise showing that you have completed the operation successfully. Click OK. And then from here, we're not going to use this any longer, so we can go ahead and close our ImageBurn, because we're not going to use it right now. And here's the bootable disk underscore Windows 98 SE that we just created. Now, to be sure that the files we added are actually in this bootable disk, we can use 7-zip in order to view an ISO, and 7-zip will open up an ISO image so we can see what's in it. So I'm just going to go down to here, and I'm going to click Open Archive. I don't want to extract it. We just want to open it to see what's in it. And here's the file that I did put in it. So we know that that file did get burnt. Now, in order to make this image actually bootable on a CD or DVD, just highlight it in the Windows 7 Home or any of the other editions. And we're going to make sure, like I said, make sure it's highlighted there. Right-click. Click Burn Disk Image. Make sure there's a CD or DVD in your CD drive. Click Burn Image, and then click Burn. Well, actually, I like to click Verify, because what that'll do is that'll burn the image, and then it'll verify that everything is correct. And then you're just going to click Burn. Okay, there you have it. What you're going to do now, once the image is actually burned on the CD, is you can place it in your CD drive, reboot the computer, and then it'll boot up into this operating system, in this case Windows 98 2nd edition. Well, there you have it, folks. You made your first bootable CD or DVD. Again, my name is Tim Ayers from mouseclickstv.com, and keep on clicking.